Alright, so we got 4 tables of 50 in L here again today. We're actually trying to start a 4th one because, well, let's just sit that out. And we'll set one here. Alright. Set this table. And full. And we'll sit. Alright, so now we got 4 tables. I was trying to start a table up, but we had some bum hunters who wouldn't even play to get the table started. They sat in with 15 and 50 and then sat out instantly. So maybe I should have bought in for like 37, 35 to actually get them to play. I don't know. But we'll continue to talk about some of the concepts we have before and go through how the HUD can help. And it's been decent. The bankroll's back above 1,000, which is good because 7 days ago it was not. I can't remember how low it got, but it was not looking good. So nothing too crazy yet. Still waiting to actually sit in on these two. We will open that from the button if it gets to us. King Jack off, middle position, or under the gun +1. We'll raise that up. Ace-3 suited, especially facing the 3-bet, is a pretty clear fold pre-flop. And looks like we would have flopped a little something. Just the nuts, and somehow it was still the nuts on the turn. So, but what can you do? King 5 looks like we're going to a limped multi-way flop. Yep, King 5. Yeah, we flop top pair. And I'm going to check and then bet if a lower card, as long as it's not an ace, we'll go bet. Interesting. He bets 2. He's got a small stack. So we'll have to decide what to do. If he folds, I think we'll call. And probably call down non-diamonds, but if he bets big, you know what? I think we'll just fold. Maybe I should lead the flop for that reason. I just don't see him betting into 2 players without a decent king or some serious equity in the pot, so we'll let it go. Little weak. He doesn't really have a stack size where we can draw to like 2-pair him or something either. Whoa, what happened here? Bet, call, 3-bet, 4-bet. We'll 3-bet this. Pick that one up. I will ISO, King Jack off. I think we're just going to peel a flop here instead of bloating it out of position multi-way. Yeah, let's just call. And we flop a gut shot to the absolute nuts, so we might take one. Yeah, I think if he calls, we'll for sure try and hit a sneaky little king on him. If he raises, we'll fold, and if he folds, I'll probably just let it go. We have some showdown value now. I think we're gonna, yeah, we'll peel it off. King ball. That's not a king. Interesting. So he bets full pot when that river comes in. No stats on him. So we'll let it go. looks like maybe that one could have been taken down if I had played that a little more aggressively. So this guy open limps, and he's cold called now 2 raises. He's 60-0 over 5 hands, so it means he's played 3 out of 5 hands without raising. And we'll complete. And not the flop we were looking for. I would often 3-bet hands like this. This guy's worrying me that he's just going to come over and punish us. I flop an open-ended straight draw, but it is on a 3 flush board. So I think I am going to check raise as a bluff and continue. Oh man, that's a small bet on his part. Less than his initial raise, so we'll see what that means. Sometimes that means they have it, sometimes it means they really have nothing, and it looks like he didn't have much of anything. So the aggression paid off that time. Keep our stacks full. All right. I'm not convinced this guy has much of anything. He's playing 50 and 40. Now, it's only over 10 hands, but he's obviously willing to raise pretty wide. So it looks like we're not going to see what this guy's jamming. Pretty aggressive table, actually. Now, we've only played 11 hands, but in those 11 hands, I'm the tightest one, and that's not something I'm used to. 20 and 10 are not great stats, but we've had hands that are conducive to calling. I think we will try and take this one down early, since it doesn't play super well heads up. That's a terrible turn. Because if he had the ace of diamonds, which it kind of smells like from how quickly he snapped that flop, now he has us locked up. I think we'll give it up. Right? Let's think through. Yep, we'll give it up. Queens down here. Big blind 25-17, actually pretty decent stats. Now, like I said, sample size is almost non-existent. 23-15 is okay. 13-13 is good. A little tight. 23-8 is pretty loose without being too aggressive. He just put in his first 3-bet. We will call, flop a set, check raise all in, and hope it's aces or ace-king. I will check raise this flop because I want all the money in by the river. I will make it kind of small. I want all the money in by the river. I also don't want to give a ton of free cards to like weird ace jacket club type hands. We are still well committed, especially with that queen of clubs in our hand. Oh, he actually flushed us. No, he didn't. All right, so we take that down. Do a little suck out. That's where the stats help a little bit. He had yet to 3-bet pre, so figured his range would be fairly tight, at least given the tiny amount of information we had. And he did end up having aces. He says, disgusted. Yeah, I guess. So this guy just check raised. If this was the ace of hearts, I'd feel like we could do some things, but just having ace high. Now he will check raise, sometimes air, a lot of draws, but I'm not going to call down with ace high. I'm not going to put in another bet, and I'm not really going to love if he like checks the turn. Should I be bluffing? Should I not? It's not very clear, and I like hands where we kind of have a clear idea of what we want to do. I feel okay with this. This guy's yet to 3-bet, so I don't think we'll get blown off. Oh, he just sat down, so it doesn't really tell me anything. 47-20. Okay, so he is going to 3-bet us, and we are going to fold after topping off. We'll let that one go too. Guy overbets the pot a little bit. Aces. We just got caught snap folding to a 3-bet, so that could be good for us. This guy's yet to 3-bet pre. In fact, he's never even raised pre. So not great for us. This guy's pretty tight as well. So what line should we take with 2 people behind? I think we'll still bet. 19-0. Over 16 hands. That's interesting. I think we'll go half pot, half pot. If we get raised, I think we'll let it go, and I expect him to have king, queen. Sometimes king 8 suited or a set. 10 jack wouldn't make much sense to float and then raise the turn. I mean, if he was good enough to float and raise. It's possible, but pretty unlikely. 17 hands, 24-18. Okay, I trust. You know what? I'm just going to over limp here. I don't like limping, but I don't like this guy's stack size for a raise. We will try to steal here. He's playing insanely tight, and he's playing pretty straightforward with 0% 3-bet. This guy open ships. Our ace high can hit the muck, even with the backdoor steal wheel draw. Definitely going to 3-bet here in position. Nope. He's going to give it up. He smelled it coming. No stats on this guy. He's newly seated. But we will make a pretty standard open. The suited king. And win that one. I'm going to check back and try and get 2 streets of value. Now we're just going to go call. Sadly. Ooh, man. Should I raise the river? If he bets full pot, we'll just call. Okay, so that worked out. He was pure bluffing, so raising wouldn't have done anything for us. Unfortunately, we can't set mine, given the our stack size and his 3-bet here. So we'll have to let the 2s go, especially with a guy behind us in the betting being reopened. There's just no way we can profitably set mine there. Is this guy actually 3-betting? What's he? He's 3-bet 50% of his opportunities, so he can get wild. 20 hands, 53-47, so pretty laggy. Loose aggressive. Deuce 7, we can fold. Beautiful hand, but from the opening position, we can let it go. Excuse me. Of course. Top pair, super strong flush draw, backdoor royal flush draw. 5-6 from the button will open, but this guy's defending very loose. Now against this type of player, we will get some value with our second pair. Now we'll definitely try and eke out some value. Hearts missed, and I know he's spazzy, so when he check raises here, we might be calling, though I expect to see a queen somewhat often, or a weird straight. Now he's taking his time. I wonder if that's because he has a boat and he's trying to level me into calling. Oh boy, what's he doing? I'll 3-bet this. And he does take all that time to call with, who knows? The ace-queen 3-bet worked. King, queen, king, jack, ace, king, obviously hands to worry about there, as well as the fact that a lot of pairs will float, but with the initiative, backdoor royal flush draw on that board, felt like a c-bet was probably okay. I want to see what this guy just had to tank and then call with. Oh, a pair of threes. That's okay. Weird. I think he could figure out whether he wanted to call there earlier. So this Dingleberry just open limped the button. Got the toppest of pairs. Hopefully it goes check, check, and 58-5? Okay, so he's not super loose. Oh, and he 3-bet behind me? All right, we'll let tens go, unfortunately. And this just went bet raise, so I'll let that go. Oh man, tens were in good shape. Put an ace out there so I can feel better. Yeah, see, if it was just him, I would have been happy about it, but that guy behind me kind of scared me out of the pot. The ace king held. So jack 10 would have beat our jack 8. So this guy limped jack 10 on the button, which obviously is pretty bad. And we played ace-king kind of weird here. It was 4 ways, and we just completed the small blind. So you miss out on some value. Okay, interesting. This guy's done some weird things, so I probably will call him down if it's not a club, and it's not. Now if he just blasts full pot, which he has not done now, so I think I will be calling him. And he had queen high. So 9-10 suited got called by a guy with 60 big blinds behind us. I will c-bet about half pot. He's pretty tight over his 8 hands. So if he has nothing, I expect him to fold. If he has something, I expect him to call. And he doesn't have enough money. We don't have a real threat of hurting him. I think I'm going to give it up. Sometimes it bites you, and they'll end up showing you some weird, like, okay, we're definitely going to bet now. Some weird hand that would have folded to a barrel, some weird ace-high type hand. It's weird for a guy who's, yeah, we'll let that go. And 4-way to this flop, and we actually take it down on the turn when we turn the nut flush draw, so that worked out for us. Running good. That shows you how quickly stats can change. He was like relatively tight. Within 2 hands, he's now looking pretty loose. So when you have a small sample size, really important to remember not to go crazy with it, with your reads. He is the type of player who a second ago open shipped 60 big blinds. Now he's open limping under the gun. We'll let that one go. See how he stands a blind v blind raise. Alright, we got that one. This guy's newly seated, so I have no information on whether this should be a 3-bet, a call, or a fold, and if you really have no clue, I think you can just let it go without feeling too bad about it. Pocket fours, get a call from our laggy friend to the left and the whale 2 to the left. Hoping for a 4 to fall out here. Maybe 2 of them. And that's none of them. 2 people behind me. Oh, wait. I thought he called. What happened? Interesting. That makes me slightly lean towards betting the flop. He is really aggressive post-flop, though. Alright, we'll check fold. We have plenty of opportunities later. They just have so much equity with like almost any part of their range. Like, I could c-bet. Problem is they'll call me with like queen 9 offsuit, then they've got a queen, a 9, or an 8. But I don't know that, obviously. 8-9 would have bet, so that 7 doesn't scare me, and there shouldn't be as many 7s in this range as like weird ace highs. So I'm going to c-bet here, a little delayed c-bet, and give up to more resistance. In fact, if he calls and the river's a pure brick, I might check call. But I'm not going to start spazzing a bunch of money into the pot. Unless the river was a 4, then we could spaz. Ace Jack is going to get bumped up. Dang, I flop the best hands when I fold. Good, so we will be in position, assuming we go to a flop. We flop top pair, backdoor decent flush draw, 40 big blinds. We are going to be committed to this pot. I think I'm going to commit us right now. Hope to see like an ace 8, ace 10, ace 9, ace 7, ace 6 type of hand. Well, if he opens ships, let's check back. See how the river goes. I'm not super worried about a 3 or a flush. I just don't know how much value I get. I get value from ace 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'm going to check back this river too. It's a little nitty, but I'm running out of hands I can get value from, and getting check raised would be a disaster. Ah, he did. He had the part of his range we could have hurt. Guess you could bet fold because like he shouldn't in theory ever be check raising ace 8. So maybe you could bet like $3, $4? I don't know. I probably should have bet the turn. Like I said, I was committed. I turned, you know, obviously a 3 beats us, but then We do have flush outs if he doesn't have a flush. What do we got going on here? 51 and 20, 29 and 6. I'm going to bump this up for the sole reason that if we do flop a set, I want there to be a decent pot out there for us to build off of. And also now it looks like we're going to be taking this flop heads up. Looks like we're going to be taking it in a 3-bet pot out of position. 395. Gosh, I almost can't even set mine. But if I hit the set, I should be able to check raise all in pretty frequently. Not check raise all in, but check raise and get all the money in. So we will peel one. You know, usually when they limp re-raise, this guy never 3-bets. It's essentially always aces. Not really, but it's usually like aces, kings, sometimes queens. I think ace king more often than queens, but like it's always those like nut hands. So he caught me, and we did not flop our set. In fact, like I said, you could make an argument for folding pre because it was 395 to win 32, so you don't really have that 10 times layover that you're looking for when set mining. Though I did feel pretty strongly that if we did flop a 6, that money would be going in either through him spazzing or because he had a really strong hand. Like the type of player who will limp re-raise a spaz hand will probably just bluff it all off, and the type of player who limp re-raises a super strong hand, especially with that stack size, is not going to be able to fold aces or kings. So I felt like that money would be going in if we did happen to flop a set, which is what induced me to end up making that call. And we'll probably play another rotation. This video is approaching the 30-minute mark. Hit my sit out next big blind buttons here. And 7-8 offsuit. This guy's not too crazy. He probably won't 3-bet me off with a weak hand, so I feel okay opening it. This guy's pretty loose. This guy's pretty tight. He's only played 6 hands. Hate it when they think for a while. Well, we'll fold 3-9 offsuit. 7, 8, 9. So I'm looking for that 6, huh? Do I want to fire a second barrel? I have no stats on him. He is aggressive post-flop. He has not been very aggressive on this one. So I think we'll fire another barrel here. We do have 3 outs to the absolute nuts. Okay, we do take it down with a nice 2-barrel. King 5 can hit the muck. Why is it lagging? Two, 5, ace-7 suited from the button is an obvious raise. All right, our last hand on this table was queen 9 off under the gun. We will fold that. Ace 5 suited. I do raise my steel wheel hands, meaning hands that can make a straight flush wheel. They can make the nut flush or a wheel straight, or both. I did get called by this guy who I did not necessarily want to get called by. I don't really want to give away a ton of free cards. Problem is, if I bet and get raised by this guy, it's a tough position to be in. I think we're going to control here. I don't like pot controlling. Man. Oh boy. Alright, if he folds, we're going to put the money in, but not be super happy about it. He bet full pot. What are his possible hands? Sets? Good aces. He just doesn't have enough money for us to get away from it, unfortunately. So it looks like, oh, we are in trouble. Chop, chop. All right. That worked out for us, though we did have to pay rake because ace-8 over here wanted to play. All right, so it looks like we are sitting out because we reached our big blind on these 3 tables. So I will bump out of those. Looks like we have one more hand here. I'm not even going to bother playing under the gun. So we'll just exit out of there too. And let's get an update on the bankroll. So it was about 1,000. Is that all of them? 1066. Yeah, I think that's probably about right. Let me think. What was it at? 1025 or 1,000? All right, well, I'm guessing 1066 is correct, so the bankroll is above 1,000. We had a small little winning session today. No hands that were really crazy. A couple good spots to be in, especially with that heads-up display. So thanks for watching. Thanks to the people that have subscribed. That's great. And leave your comments below.